I think we should have a few more persons joining, but yeah, we should be able to start. No. So thanks everyone for joining again. So as for those who are just joining, so I was saying that hey, this will be the last call for the year. So due to the holiday season, we're taking a break. So the next 2 weeks there will be no builders call. So we'll start again in January 2024. I think the first call will be on the 3rd. So yep. So taking a break, giving you guys a chance to enjoy the holiday and get refreshed and ready for next year. So for this call, we have two teams presenting. Firstly, we'll have the team from Archmon presenting their NFT, their dynamic NFT platform. So we'll have Ali from Archmon presenting. And then we'll have Troy from the KYVE team introducing their new integration with the Archtrade protocol. So they've completed the integration. Well, earlier today, I merged a PR in the doc, so I'll post that link in the chat as well to see how you can start utilizing KYVE for state sync. And their approach is very unique compared to the general state sync solution. So yeah, exciting sessions ahead. Hope you guys enjoy. So I'll hand over to Ali from Archman, so you can go ahead and take over. Ali?
Yeah. First, hi to everyone, and thank you for having us. I'm Ali, co-founder and builder for ArchmonNFT. I'm a front-end developer. Unfortunately, we couldn't have our smart contract engineer, Hassan, to be with us today, but we also have our project manager, Mugiwara, with us. So from what you've seen so far, ArchmonNFT is about a dynamic NFT. It basically consists about dynamic NFT experience on Archway, and it's about introducing gamification on the Archway blockchain. So it's basically not just a static NFT project. The key point of our project is the dynamicity of the NFT. Our dynamic NFTs evolve as users engage with various D apps on the Archway blockchain. I can share my screen, right?
Yes, you can share.
Yes, you can share your screen.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
so,
it.
yeah. So this is mainly our website. The art is pixelated. So let's talk about our experience system. Users will be able to finish specific missions, and the more missions they complete, more XP they gain, and the more upgrades they unlock their NFTs. Let me show you some visual examples of where users start and where they end up with. So basically, we consist of 7 levels. Every user will mint the first level, which starts at 0 XP, of course. And it later starts evolving into same character, into the different weapons, into different armor. So we didn't show up the rest of the art for building reasons, but this is basically the idea where the user starts from here and they keep on evolving as long as they do missions and gain XP. Our mission, this is our basic mission section. So let's say there's 5 available missions so far. We were able to partner with 5 different Archway projects. This is how our missions would look like. Let's say Astrovault. There will be like each level will have 3 different difficulties: easy, medium, and hard. And each mission will consist from 3 to 5 steps. As I said, these are like placeholders so far. It's going to be a section about education, a quiz section, and a mission section. And we're still like studying 2 other options to add. So basically, users will be learning about the project itself. And after that, the next step is taking quizzes regarding the data that they learned about this project. And The third mission, let's say Astrovault had this quest where users have to stake specific tokens, Arch or whatever, on their using their DEX. So this is what users are supposed to do, and this is how they're supposed to gain experience built on. So our vision about this is that we can add an element of fun and challenge to the blockchain experience, but it can also serve to deeply integrate our community into the broader Archway ecosystem. The goal of our mission is to enhance user engagement by transforming their interactions into an adventure, if you want to like call it that. Regarding our flexibility, we're having like a very flexible approach right now, as we intend to use it for our own community to explore Archway ecosystem and the other D apps. We are very open also to partnering with other builders on Archway. So guys, feel free to contact us whenever you like it. We see this as an opportunity to direct people to explain the apps on Archway. We are having our supply is going to consist of 7,000 NFTs, capped at 7,000 NFTs. That's mostly all from my side. We are open to like a lot of, we're open to suggestions, and we're open also to releasing limited editions, collections to specific D apps in specific seasons. This is what we have for the short, medium term. So far, what we have developed, but we are looking ahead as we envision becoming a central hub in a vast interconnected network of gaming experiences built on Archway. We also aspire to create a platform where developers can easily craft and integrate games. All are linked through a central NFT, so that acts as a universal identity. This will allow users to seamlessly transition between games and experiences, maintaining their progress and achievements. We're visioning to transform Archman into a pioneering force in blockchain gaming, where each game contributes to an expansive narrative, making the Archway blockchain not just a technology platform, but a thriving digital universe of connected stories and adventures. So yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, thanks for that, Ali. So I think we can start the question and answer section right now. I'm seeing a few questions in the chat. Ethan is asking, does the NFT change at all when it moves wallets, aka is sold?
No. What was it again? What was the question again, please?
Does the NFT change at all when it moves wallets? When it changes
No,
wallets?
no. Everything stays. The XP stays as is.
Okay. One a quick question in regards to creation in terms of permissions for creation of collection. So is it that anyone can join the platform and create a collection, or is that reserved to just the Archmon team?
Yeah, that's reserved to the Archmon team.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're looking to partnership with, as I mentioned before, with other D apps where we can we can launch a limited collection NFTs for their suitability and their convenience during specific seasons they want,
Okay. I saw where ArchID, ArchConnect, and a few others were listed. Are those dApps fully integrated right now and ready for launch, or is it that you want to get those dApps integrated?
So basically, we are connected to the Archway blockchain. So anything that's happening on the Archway blockchain is directly or indirectly connected with us. But so far, no.
Okay. So what would it take for ArchID, for example, to integrate or to have a collection created? Would there be anything required from their end, or is everything just done by the Archman team?
If they have suggestions regarding the steps of each mission, yeah, that would be great. But other than that, we can handle everything else.
Okay. So Crypto Hydrobot is asking, can ArchmonNFT be integrated with decentralized oracles to access real-world data and events?
Yeah, I saw his questions and I liked his questions. I'm gonna say yes, and if he wants like to have more details about this, I can like DM him about it.
Okay. So is ArchmonNFT Evolution data stored directly on the Archway blockchain, ensuring transparency and immutability?
Yes, definitely.
And are these NFTs, can these NFTs be programmed to react to specific events or conditions within the Archway ecosystem? Well, I think that would be done from your end, right? Because because all the collections are created and managed by your team, so there wouldn't be any programmable interactions from other developers outside of your team, right?
For now, no, but like this is like sounds like a great idea that we're open to work on it, you know.
Okay, and I'm seeing another question. The role of Archman NFTs in community building, the gamified approach. I think you went
Sorry,
over
what's
that,
this?
but could you go over that again, like the gamified approach that or the possibilities of implementing custom gamified solutions for various collections.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. It's up into collabs and partnering with the needs and what suits the project itself.
And I think this is the final question. Archman's ability to track user interactions.
What's the question?
Is Archman's ability to track user interactions. It says provides Archman's ability to track user interactions provides valuable data that can be used to improve the platform and offer better services. So I'm thinking like, so it's data-driven insights. So
Sorry, I
I
don't
think
get the question.
it's trying to ask whether or not you are able to like uh, create different user insights or dashboards to show various metrics of the usage
Y- Yeah,
or interaction
definitely.
within for any collection.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So are there any other questions for Ali?
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Ali. I think,
Thank you.
as
Thank
you
you.
said, Drew is when mint. Um, so is Archman live right now on testnet or mainnet?
Not yet. We've been testing on testnet. We're way like if you're gonna say it, we're 10 weeks, we're 6 weeks away from public minting.
Okay.
4 weeks away from whitelist minting and 6 weeks away from public minting.
And the white, what would I need to do to get into the whitelist?
Currently, we have ongoing events in the Discord, and as well, we're trying to reach out to as much as Archway D apps as we can, and each D app will have its own like uh, steps in order to get their users into that whitelist.
Okay. All right. I think definitely our marketing team will be working with you guys to really push the platform when it's ready for launch. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Thank you. Thank you. Really happy to have us here. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot again, Ali. So we're moving on, and our next team will be the KYVE team, and we have Troy from KYVE. Troy, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Okay,
Perfect.
the floor is yours, Troy.
Thank you. So then I will just quickly share my screen. All right, are you able to see it?
Yes, I'm seeing your screen now.
Perfect. All right then. So I'm Troy. I'm a core developer at KYVE, and today I'm presenting K-Sync, our latest tool and our latest integration with Archway. And it will be all about syncing Archway nodes today and why it has never been easier than before. And for that, I'm first gonna present KYVE, the underlying protocol, and which also developed this tool. And for that, we simply put this graphic on top here, where it basically summarizes everything KYVE does. So at its core, it's a validation and transfer protocol. And what this means in practical terms is that in the example of Archway, where the integration is live on mainnet right now, we archive every block and every state sync snapshot to Arweave, which is a Web3 permanent storage provider. And from there on, data consumers can pull it down and use it. And we have currently two products which are consuming this data we have archived. One is the data pipeline, where you can basically sync this data to any DB. And the other one is K-Sync, where you can retrieve the blocks and the state sync snapshots to apply them to your Archway node. And one critical part, what KYVE makes different, is the validation. So of course you can just go and upload the data from Arweave, from Archway directly to Arweave, but we go a step further and actually validate everything. So what this means is that in our Archway data pool, there are currently 50 independent validators, and every one of those 50 validators is running his own Archway node. So every time an uploader proposes a new data bundle, so this consists of new Archway blocks, all the other 49 validators are verifying it with their own Archway node, and so we can ensure that only valid data is permanently archived, because otherwise archiving invalid data doesn't make any sense. So whenever you're using it, you can always double check with the KYVE blockchain if the checksum fits and if it was validated by the KYVE protocol, and then you can be sure that the data is valid and basically safe to use. And we are not only archiving Archway right now, of course, we are also archiving other Cosmos blockchains. But since Archway is relatively new to compare to others, it's actually the first chain we managed to archive with the entire snapshots and the blocks. So this is very interesting for K-Sync, as you will see soon. And what KYVE is building in general, maybe as the last word, is the decentralized data lake. So at the end, the goal is that you can find any data source you're interested in this decentralized data lake, and you can be sure that it's valid and usable. And maybe to just show you how it looks like in real life. So this is our app. You can visit this with this link here. I will also send relevant links in the chat also soon. And here you can see all the other Cosmos chains we're archiving. So for example, we have Cosmos, Hub Osmosis, and here we have Archway, for example. So with the blocks and state sync, we are at LiveHead. And when we check out here, those are validators, 50 currently. And like I mentioned earlier, every one of them is running their own Archway node, so we can be sure that the data doesn't come from a single source, but in fact from many sources, that we can be sure that we keep the decentralization aspect, of course, running. And how does the data look like? Well, we produce bundles, and we produce bundles to make it more scalable. In every bundle, you find multiple blocks in this case. So you could go, for example, with the storage ID to Arweave. Looks like this. It's an Arweave transaction hash. And with that, you can simply download and retrieve the data. And you can find all other interesting stuff down here, for example, with the data hash checksum, so you can always be sure that you're having the correct data. Same with the state sync pool. So it archives the state sync snapshots instead of the blocks. And this will be very useful in the next part. So having that covered, we can actually go to the main topic of the day, K-Sync. So KYVE is basically the basis for K-Sync because it provides us with the data lake we created there. And K-Sync is a tool which builds on top of it. So what we can do, you can see it on the right side, we have K-Sync, which is pulling down the data we archived on Arweave, and it can apply that to, for example, the Archway node in this case. And so when you want to summarize what K-Sync does in one sentence is, it's also mentioned there, it's a tool where you can rapidly sync validated blocks and snapshots from KYVE to every Tendermint-based blockchain application. So not only Archway, but in the future, of course, we want to support multiple chains. So of course, the value grows the more chains we have, but Archway is the first one, so that's very exciting. And reasons to actually use K-Sync, there are many. So first of all, you can block sync from Genesis up to Live easily. And this is actually quite hard to do with other chains because especially with old blocks, we have the problem of peers actually dropping them because, of course, there's no real incentive, at least in Cosmos, to keep old blocks and to run a full node. You always have to rely on full nodes, and the trend definitely is that full nodes are getting fewer and fewer day by day, and therefore it's also getting harder to retrieve the old blocks day by day. And it's also critical if actually full nodes want to sync from Genesis, but also if you want to like fetch old block results or events or the blocks themselves. So KYVE is a place where it's safely stored permanently because of Arweave. Then furthermore, of course, we have state sync snapshots. So that's nothing new, but which is actually, or which was impossible before, is to state sync to historical heights. So we actually checked it out in the Tendermint core code. It's actually specified or limited that you can only state sync to the latest 10 available snapshots. So it's basically live height. And if you want to sync to a historical height, you have to sync from Genesis, or if you're lucky, there's like a full snapshot available before that height, but then you still have to like somehow sync to your desired height. So with state sync, we archive a snapshot every 3,000 blocks. And with the combination of state and block sync, we actually achieve something new, which we call height sync. So if there's any block height you want to check out, and we will do that in a demo right now, you can simply use the combination of both. Let's say you want to sync to a certain height, then K-Sync would use the latest available snapshot, which is right before that height, sync with block sync to the desired height, and then you get there in minutes. So this is something which was very difficult to do before. Normally, like already mentioned, you have to be lucky to find like a full snapshot, which is often gigabytes or even terabytes big for other chains. And you need to be lucky that the blocks are still there so you can actually sync to that height. So it's very easy, especially like for analysis purposes, to check something out. And this is something we will actually do right now. So I prepared two little demos where we just want to show two use cases which might be interesting for you. And the first one will be, for example, a question which maybe you want to know as from an analysis standpoint, or maybe for, I don't know, certain reasons. And that is, for example, getting the bank balance of the community pool at height X. So right now we can check it out. We can just go, for example, to ping.pub, and we see, all right, 96 million in the bank. but what was this at in a past height? So of course you can pull down all the events or like the steps mentioned previously, sync from Genesis, but of course this takes lots of time, lots of resources. And with casing, we will just do this in minutes. So do you have a block height? Maybe you can just write in the chat where we should sync to and check out the balance of the community pool at that height. If not, that's also fine. I think just checking the chat if someone wrote something. But if no one's proposed something, I will just choose random one. And I can maybe describe what happens here. So first of all, we're searching. Perfect. Then we'll take that. That's nice. Okay. Then I will abort it. And then, because it's the newest version. So in general, oh no, what was it? I think this. So in general, but you have to specify it's just the Archway binary. In this case, it's v4 because the height lies there. The source and the target height you want to sync to. In this case, we start. What casing does is it first searches for the nearest snapshot available and how many blocks need to be synced to that height. This takes a few seconds. And once it has found them right now, I think my internet is quite slow right now. Normally this is a bit faster. Yep. So now we have found it. Now we can accept that and then just wait until the snapshot is getting applied. So Archway right now has about, I think, 30 to 35 state sync chunks. And this is rather small size. So we already experienced on other chains that they have like, for example, at Kronos about 90 chunks. Cosmos Hub has about 100 chunks, and another chain even has like 180. So with 30, we're quite fast here. And what you are seeing right now is state sync snapshots is often sharded in chunks, and every chunk is about 10 to 13 megabytes big. So what we do now is we retrieve the chunk one by one and apply them against the app. And the app is, in this case, of course, Archway. Oh, sorry, was this a question?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. But in this case, we can see how one by one the chunks are applied. And yeah, my internet's a bit slow right now, so normally it's a bit faster. But yeah, like I said, once all the state sync snapshots are applied, we are checked out at the current state, and from there on, casing switches to the block sync mode, and then it pulls down all the blocks which are available in the pool and applies them against it. So normally, what your Archway node would do is it tries to get the blocks over the peer-to-peer network, and why that's often slower is because the peer-to-peer network is at the end of the day, a peer-to-peer network, so often connections break, or other peers are slowly, or in the worst case, they don't even have the state sync snapshots available, so that's the worst case. And so often, even joining the live fight is a painful process if you don't have good peers. And so with RBF, you can ensure that it's always available, and that's why you can even pull down the historical snapshots. So let's see, we're almost done here. All right, switching to block sync now. Today we're really slow. Sorry for that. But what we already saw here was the ABCI handshake. So what basically happened is that the application accepted the state sync snapshots, and now, as you can see, the blocks are rolling in, and it stops until we reach the specified target height. And I think, yep, that should be there soon. So here we see now we reach this. We can then just start the node, and we can see here in the RPC status endpoint that we actually reached the target height you specified, and in this case it only took minutes instead of probably hours. And another nice thing now is, of course, I promised you wanted to get the bank balance, of course, of the community pool. So we can just query with the CLI here, and as you can see here, this was the balance at this block height. I don't exactly remember how many decimals. Actually, I think it was 18 or...
Yes.
And then we can see here... Oh, sorry, just...
Yeah, I was just confirming that it's 18.
Okay. So we can see here that it was 96.4 million. I think the live height was 96.6 million. So with this, we can easily check out historical states. Of course, we're not limited to the community pool. You can even export the entire state. There's also command available for there. So if you ever want to know something which happened in the past and you have troubles getting there, I think K-Sync is the tool to go. And I also promised, of course, another demo, which is, I think, especially interesting for new validators who want to join a network, is to just easily sync the live height and then just continue in a normal network. So I will just reset everything to have it like before. And here, one start K-Sync, of course. We don't even need to specify a target height. By default, it will try to find the latest available snapshot. It will do exactly what it did before, but just applying the state sync snapshots. But yeah, then I will just continue normally after that. So we'll just prove that it can sync to that height. And once we are there, we can just start with a seed node, or that we connect to a seed node, and then we can see that after K-Sync basically is performed, you don't need to be afraid that you can't sync the normal network anymore. You can, of course. So this is this showcase, and then we basically joined the Archmon network in a very quick time. Maybe in the meantime, I can send some links which might be useful here. I think I'm just going to copy that. So if you're interested in checking out what we have, is you can check out the docs as well as the source code, the pools we have. We actually also have a demo on YouTube showing that. And then, of course, and thanks for that, by the way. We also have then K-Sync available in the Archway docs themselves. So if you go to the state sync section, you see there that you can also, next to the classical or traditional option, you can do the state sync with KYVE. So let's see how our sync is going. All right, have more than 50%. And of course, if you have any questions already, you can already write them to the chat, and I can of course try to answer them. And in the meantime, you can also of course start checking out the docs or the source code, where we also have detailed technical descriptions of how it works at the low level, because I think that's also a very interesting concept, how basically K-Sync pretends to be a tenement process. So yeah, we basically talk to the Archway app in this case, and soon we will have reached all the state sync snapshots. Waiting for the last one. There we go. And then we can simply start with some peers now, and let's see if you can join. And there the blocks from the peer-to-peer network come rolling in, as you should know it if you run validators. And with that, you can easily join the Archway network. So no struggles of finding a trust height or a trust hash again. No struggles of like entering the same RPC into the RPC endpoints. You just spin up casing, and that's good to go. By the way, if you're ever wondering what casing supports, you also have an info command. So we have a summary here of which networks we have. So Archway is on the top here with basically supporting all the blocks up to live height. Right now, the only other state sync pool we have is Chronos, which is currently syncing. And in the future, we plan, of course, to support it for way more chains. Ideally, the whole of Cosmos. So you don't have that much troubles in the future to perform things. And I think that's it. And of course, open for questions.
Thanks a lot, Troy. Let me ask a quick question. In the last command that you executed just now, it showed that for block sync for Archway, you can start from block 1 to the current height. But for state sync, it starts at 3,000 as opposed to block 1. Why is that?
So I can share it again. 1 second. No. So we have all the blocks from block 1 to the current live height, and state sync mentioned earlier that we currently archive the state sync snapshots at an interval of 3,000. So that's why it starts at 3,000 in this case. Because if you want to sync to a height under 3,000, I think you're also good to go to just sync from Genesis at this point. But of course, everything in between height 3,000 and the live height, you have the state sync snapshots available at the 3,000 interval step. And so with height sync, you can use the combination of state and block sync to just get to the height, because of course it would be way too inefficient to make a state sync snapshot of every block height. That would be, of course, too much. So that's why it's starting at this height.
Okay, I missed that. Thanks.
No problem.
Okay, so the floor is open for questions. See where Eric had asked a question, is it possible to do this via Jackal instead of Arweave? I see that Christopher had answered. I wasn't even aware that there was a cloud solution named Arweave. Okay.
Yeah. So Gustav answered already correctly. Only storage provider right now is Arweave, and I think that's for good reasons. So of course we are general transfer protocol, so in theory we can also archive to different storage providers, for example IPFS or Jackal. Arweave has the very nice property of being truly permanent, and we worked with them a lot and actually started in the Arweave ecosystem with this project, so very close with them. And right now we have no specific request from another project to archive on a different storage provider, but of course we are very open to that idea. If someone wishes to, for example, do it on Jackal, we're completely in that, so of course we can support that in the future.
I see another question. Is this tool usable for developers too?
Of course. So this pool actually targets mostly developers because we have seen it was mostly in the terminal. So you already have to have some experience with running Cosmos nodes. It's especially interesting for validators in general. If the validators are professional or if they are new, I think it's for all of the validator groups. And I think it's especially interesting for data analysts, like for example, getting the bank balance at a certain height. I mean, you just saw it, it's pretty quick and rather easy. And of course, it can also be used for developers for many reasons, to be honest. So even if they want to build their own block explorer and need their own node, for example, let's say, and then they can sync their full node with the block sync command from casing, and then they're also good to go. So yes, of course, it's also free to use, open source, so you can also make contributions to it. That's also welcoming. So absolutely.
See someone typing a question, so let's wait on that. I think definitely this solution is definitely useful for validators as well. I think we do have a validator call, so it might be useful as well to get KYVE presenting in that call as well if possible.
Yeah, of course. So I'm open for that, and if you're interested, just ping me or us, and then we can sure make something work there.
No problem. So we have another question. Could you please kindly explain checkpointing and snapshot algorithm facilities in KYVE?
Yeah. Do you mean the actual data validation part, or how we can apply the state sync snapshots to Archway? I'm not sure about the question, but maybe I can actually explain both. Why not? So first of all, the validation part is actually pretty simple. So we have those 50 nodes, and we are based in rounds. So every round we select a uploader, and this uploader can then upload data to KYVE and submits it also to KYVE chain. And then every other validator in that pool, all the other 49, are then pulling the data down, which was uploaded by the uploader, and comparing it with their local data. And if it matches, they vote, of course, valid. If not, they vote invalid. And depending, of course, if you receive invalid votes, as you have a proof of stake system at work, you get penalized by slashing. And so we keep, therefore, every validator incentivized to also behave not maliciously. So with that process in place, we can then validate the data because we have all attestations and form of signatures in the votes from all the validators, and therefore, we can be sure that the data we produce is valid, and that by 50 independent people. And to the maybe checkpointing and snapshot algorithm. So basically, how casing can apply them is that we mimic the tenement process. So every Cosmos chain is basically at 2 layers, the tenement process, which mimics or handles all the peer-to-peer traffic and also handles the transaction ordering. And then we have the application on top of it, which is the Cosmos SDK and whatever builds on the Cosmos SDK. So in this case, the Archway app. So with Ksync mimicking the tenement process, it takes a snapshot, which was downloaded from Arweave, and then applies them over the ABCI protocol. This is the application blockchain interface, it's called. And with that interface, we can talk to Archway and say, hey, Archway, we offer you this snapshot. It's actually called offer snapshot, the method. And then Archway can accept or reject them. That's why you see always the accept in the logs there. And maybe what do you mean with the checkpointing algorithm? So with the height sync, we use the combination, and to make it as quickly as possible, when you specify a height, we search for the snapshot which is nearest to that height. We state sync there, and the rest of the blocks we then block sync with the same process basically. So again, we deliver the blocks to the app. All the transactions, the app executes them, we receive the app hash back, and then we can make sure that everything works out. And as you can have seen in the second demo, you can then start the Archway node just normally, like you would always, and all the blocks are available there.
Out of curiosity, is it possible? So, like, we do have community validators that provide our archive nodes, but like instead of using casing to create a node, for example, or even to create an archive node, is it possible for a developer to tap into the KYVE protocol and pull data as if it's an archive node without having to pull down the entire data set themselves to create their own node?
Yes, you can do that, of course. So you just do the block sync and specify no target height, which tells casing, okay, just sync whatever blocks are available. So from block 1 to the latest block. So this way you basically sync your archival node, and if you, for example, want to sync all the blocks, transactions, and events to a database, for example, directly, you can use the data pipeline of KYVE. So that's of course another tool we built on KYVE, and this is maybe suited for the more general audience of developers. And
Okay, so I could create a database storage of the entire Archway network and within your database solution. Is that a paid solution?
So we have actually Christopher's right here, also a developer at KYVE, and mainly handling the data pipeline. But I can tell that the data pipeline you can host yourself, and therefore it's free. But in the future, of course, we have also, I think, hosted plans, and for that, it's a different story. But the base is, of course, free and will stay free. And of course, the data on Archive is also available for everyone. So in case you just want to pull it down directly, you can, of course, also do it.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, there was another question. Any latency benchmarks available? So I'm still trying to figure out how to design the benchmarks best because, of course, it highly depends on internet speed and hardware and chain. So currently still on it, but promise will add them soon to our docs so you can make a comparison for yourself on what to use. But what I can tell you already, it's in long run, it's definitely faster because of the problems which peer-to-peer often has with peer-to-peer connections breaking and all that stuff. So if you're interested in especially syncing an archival node, which often takes weeks, especially for bigger blockchains, casing will be the way to go. But yeah, we'll get some detailed numbers then out soon.
Okay, are there any other questions for Troy? I think that's no. So is there anything else you'd like to say, Troy, or?
No, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, and always open to give other presentations because we, of course, also run validators for ourselves and we know the pain. So, yeah, if you're ever interested in running validators, yeah, it's maybe worth checking it out. And of course, if you have feature requests, questions, just DM me or DM us. We're happy to answer them all. And then, yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. As I said, we do have a network operators call. When we do have the next call, I'll definitely reach out to you guys to see if you can take part in that, because this is definitely a tool that I think validators will definitely find useful. And I think it's a very useful tool for developers as well. I think we need to expand on the documentation that we currently have to see how best devs can utilize the tool. So yeah, like given various use cases and demos. But
Yeah, we can.
Thanks for submitting the PR. We need a lot more PRs to get to boost up the docs, especially for tools or unique tools like the KYVE tool. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, sure, we can work on that then. Let's keep each other posted.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to the end of the call. Thanks everyone. As I said, we won't have a call for the next 2 weeks. So the next call will be, I think, January 3rd, 2024. So look out for that announcement. So thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you next year. Thanks again.